The Working with PeopleSoft Insights Spotlight covers the following topics: an introduction to PeopleSoft Search Framework, PeopleSoft Insights, and OpenSearch, where we discuss how OpenSearch dashboards is used in PeopleSoft, specifically in Search Framework. The installing, setting up, and accessing OpenSearch dashboards topic discusses the installation steps and seamless access to OpenSearch dashboards from PeopleSoft. The Setting Up Applications Index Visualizations topic discusses how you will use the dashboards that are delivered by PeopleSoft applications. The Creating Visualizations for Applications topic provides a step-by-step instruction on creating new visualizations using application indexes. And finally, the Additional Resources topic provides links where you can get more information on Search Framework, PeopleSoft Insights, OpenSearch, and OpenSearch dashboards. In this section, we learn about OpenSearch dashboards and its implementation in PeopleSoft. PeopleSoft Insights is PeopleSoft's brand for visualizations and analytics driven by the search framework and uses OpenSearch dashboards to create visualizations and analytics. OpenSearch dashboards is a powerful analytic and reporting web application. OpenSearch dashboards provides visual reports in the form of charts, tables, graphs, and so on based on queries that you set up on search indexes. PeopleSoft Search Framework also uses OpenSearch dashboards to monitor and provide analysis on Search Framework and search indexes. Beginning with PeopleTools 8.60.07, Search Framework provides the option to use OpenSearch dashboards as the analytic engine for visualizing and analyzing PeopleSoft application data, which is indexed in OpenSearch. The data exposed through the OpenSearch dashboards is based on the user's security that is similar to the security applied in global search. Furthermore, access to OpenSearch dashboards, visualizations, and dashboards is controlled by specifying privileges in PeopleSoft. The analytic data presented through OpenSearch dashboards would be as recent as the application indexes. The data in the index is only as fresh as the last time the index was updated. However, you have an option to enable real-time indexing on your search definitions that ensures that the analytic data is near real-time. This topic covers installing, setting up, and accessing OpenSearch dashboards. PeopleTools 8.60.07 delivers the OSK DPK to install OpenSearch, OpenSearch dashboards, and Logstash. In this presentation, we'll discuss the installation and setup of OpenSearch dashboards for Search Framework. PeopleSoft Health Center uses Logstash. Refer to the product documentation for more information. The OSK DPK zip file includes a setup script for the Microsoft Windows platform and a setup script for the Linux platform. You can run the script interactively or run it in silent mode with a prepared configuration file. The DPK gives you the option to install OpenSearch and OpenSearch dashboards together or separately. You would install OpenSearch dashboards separately in a scenario where you have already installed OpenSearch. In this case, you can skip the installation of OpenSearch and install only OpenSearch dashboards. Use the following installation guidelines for OpenSearch dashboards. Use the delivered OSK DPK to install OpenSearch dashboards. OpenSearch dashboards is delivered as part of OSK DPK because a security module is built into it. Do not install OpenSearch dashboards from the opensearch.org website. You can install OpenSearch dashboards on the same server where OpenSearch is installed or install it on a separate server. However, Oracle recommends that you install OpenSearch dashboards on one of the OpenSearch nodes in the cluster to ensure better connectivity between OpenSearch and OpenSearch dashboards. For detailed information on the installation process, refer to the PeopleSoft Deployment Packages installation for search components for the current release. After installing OpenSearch dashboards, you should complete a few tasks to set up OpenSearch dashboards for monitoring and creating visualizations. This includes connecting OpenSearch dashboards to OpenSearch, starting the OpenSearch dashboard service, and setting up OpenSearch dashboards for application data analytics. The first task is to connect OpenSearch dashboards to OpenSearch. You complete this task during the installation of OpenSearch dashboards when the installation script prompts you to specify the search server to which you want to connect the OpenSearch dashboard server. The next step is to start the OpenSearch dashboard service, and this process is dictated by the platform on which OpenSearch dashboards is installed. On the Windows platform, you must start the OpenSearch dashboard service manually by running the OpenSearch dashboards.bat file. On the Linux platform, the service starts automatically. If it does not, you should run the OpenSearch dashboards.sh file. After starting the OpenSearch dashboards service, you enable OpenSearch dashboards to access the application indexes in OpenSearch. Navigate to PeopleTools, Search Framework, Search Admin Activity Guide, Configuration, and then select Search Instance. In the OpenSearch Dashboards section, enter the server name of the host where OpenSearch Dashboards is running. In the port field, enter the port number that you specified when installing OpenSearch Dashboards. In the SSL field, choose Yes if SSL is enabled for OpenSearch Dashboards. If not, choose No. The search framework provides integrated access to OpenSearch dashboards, enabling administrators and configuration specialists to access OpenSearch dashboards administration homepage directly in PeopleSoft PIA. This can be accessed by using the Insights menu under Reporting Tools. Access to the Insights menu is controlled through the Insights Administrator role. The OpenSearch Dashboards administration homepage enables administrators and configuration specialists to create index patterns, visualizations, and dashboards using the application search definitions deployed to OpenSearch. When you create visualizations and dashboards in OpenSearch dashboards, PeopleSoft applies data authorization based on document-level security set up for the search definition. This ensures that a user has the same set of data access when they use global search and when they use the dashboards. When a user accesses the dashboards using the tile on their homepage or by using the related information, data shown is restricted by the document-level security applied on the dashboard. An administrative user or configuration specialist must possess the Insights Administrator role to access the Insights homepage from PeopleSoft. Only a user with this role can use the Insights menu under Reporting Tools. They also require the Search Administrator role to create visualization in OpenSearch dashboards, perform the tasks of deploying dashboards, importing dashboards, configuring dashboards, and specifying user privileges in PIA. Please note that the Search Administrator role does not have access to data in OpenSearch dashboards. To access data in OpenSearch dashboards, you require the roles created for the purpose in applications. Additionally, a user must also possess the Portal Administrator role to create content references when you configure dashboards. This section discusses the applications delivered dashboards and how to use them. Applications deliver dashboards through update images. The delivered dashboards should be deployed to OpenSearch dashboards. When you deploy a dashboard, you are copying the dashboard from the PeopleSoft database to your instance of OpenSearch dashboards. The deployed dashboard is then available on the Saved Objects page in the Management section on the Insights homepage. You use the Deploy Insights Dashboards page to deploy or update a dashboard. Navigate to PeopleTools, Search Framework, Administration, and then select Deploy Insights Dashboards. Let's understand when we should use the Deploy or Reset status options. When PeopleSoft applications deliver a dashboard in a PUM image, you must use the Deploy option. When you migrate dashboards from one environment to another, for example, from the testing environment to the production environment, you must use the Deploy option. The Reset Status option resets the dashboard status from deployed to undeployed. Oracle recommends that you do not modify or edit a delivered dashboard or visualization. You may copy a delivered visualization and modify it to suit your business requirements. Search Framework enables you to create your own visualizations, and we will discuss it in a later section in this presentation. Applications specify certain roles when delivering a dashboard. Administrators and business analysts must verify whether the specified roles are sufficient for their use. If not, additional roles should be specified through the Insights Privileges page. You use the Insights Privileges page to specify user privileges for a dashboard and to create a visualization. PeopleSoft provides the required security by mapping the dashboards to PeopleSoft roles. Navigate to PeopleTools, Search Framework, Administration, and then select Assign Dashboard Roles. This page has two sections, Dashboard Access and Create Access. Let's look at the use of the Dashboard Access section. You use this section to map an application-specific role to a dashboard and specify edit or view privileges to the role. The edit privilege enables a user to edit a dashboard or visualization in OpenSearch dashboards and save the changes. When a dashboard displays in full view, the Open in OpenSearch Dashboards link displays only if the edit privilege is assigned to you, so you can open and edit the dashboard. The view privilege enables a user to open a dashboard or visualization in PeopleSoft and view it. A user with the view privilege can open the dashboard in PeopleSoft, where you have options to filter the data or use the time picker to view data based on a time range. Note that you can map the dashboard to multiple roles with different privileges for the role. Remember that only users with the specified roles can view or edit a dashboard with this security layer. Therefore, administrators must consider the end users to whom the dashboards should be available and assign roles accordingly. Let's look at the use of the Create Access section. You use this page to set the roles to create a dashboard. Other than the Search Administrator role, only those users with the specified role or roles can create dashboards. In the following demonstration, we'll see the process of deploying a delivered dashboard and using the visualizations. While a user with the Search Administrator role performs the task of deploying a dashboard, an end user uses the dashboard if the user has the role specified for the dashboard. This demonstration assumes that you have taken a PeopleSoft application's update image, for example HCM, which delivers some dashboards. First, we will log in as a user with the Search Administrator role to deploy a dashboard. The Deploy Insights Dashboards page displays the delivered dashboards. Let's select the Application Details dashboard and then select the Deploy button. At this point, the dashboard and its visualizations are copied to your OpenSearch Dashboards instance. Now, we will log in as a regular user who wants to add the tile to the home page to view the visualizations. All the application's delivered tiles are listed on the Add Tiles dialog box. Add the application details tile to your manager self-service homepage. The saved tile displays on the homepage and begins loading the first visualization in the dashboard. The tile opens in PeopleSoft to display all the visualizations. This completes the demonstration. In this topic, we will discuss creating an application's data index visualization. Search Framework enables you to create visualizations in OpenSearch dashboards based on PeopleSoft application data indexes. Typically, a PeopleSoft user with the Search Administrator role or a user with the Create Access privilege performs the task of creating a visualization and adding it to a dashboard. After creating a dashboard, a PeopleSoft user with the Search Administrator role can proceed with importing the dashboards, configuring the dashboards as styles or related information, and specifying user privileges for a dashboard in PeopleSoft PIA. Step 1 covers creating an index pattern and visualization and dashboard. You access the Insights homepage using the Insights menu under Reporting Tools. You require the Insights Administrator role to access the Insights menu. In the PeopleSoft implementation of OpenSearch dashboards, an index pattern is associated with a search definition, so a visualization is based on a search definition. The index pattern identifies the mapping of the indexed field. In Insights, the management page displays existing index patterns. Remember that you should specify one of the index patterns as the default index pattern. If you do not set a default search pattern, you may see error messages when your users attempt to view any of the dashboards. Step 2 goes over importing a dashboard into the PeopleSoft database in order to apply the needed user privileges and to configure it as a tile or related information. As mentioned previously, the Search Administrator role is required to perform all these tasks. Navigate to PeopleTools Search Framework Administration and then select Import Insights Dashboards page. The page lists the applications delivered dashboards that you deployed and any new dashboards that you create. Choose a dashboard or dashboards that you want to import. When you select the Import button, the file name field is populated with the actual file, which is a JSON file. You will notice that the file name typically takes the name of the dashboard and adds .json as an extension. Remember that if you modify a dashboard that has been imported, you should re-import the dashboard to get the latest metadata copied to the PeopleSoft database. After importing the dashboard to the PeopleSoft database, the dashboard can be configured as a tile or related information in a component to enable end users to use the dashboard directly from PeopleSoft. Navigate to PeopleTools, Search Framework, Administration, and then select Configure Insights Dashboards. When you configure a dashboard as a tile, you're creating a content reference for the tile. Please note the content reference name should be unique. It should not contain spaces and it should not begin with a digit. You could use underscore. An end user does not see the name of the content reference. The label appears as a tile header and is seen by an end user. You can use spaces in a label. The content reference is stored at this location: Fluid Structure Content, Fluid Pages, PeopleSoft Applications. In addition to the Search Administrator role, you must also have the Portal Administrator role, which is required to create content references. When you set a dashboard for tile view, the tile displays a visualization when the tile is loaded. If you have multiple visualizations in a dashboard, the first visualization on the dashboard is displayed on the tile. Note that the loading of the visualization on the tile may be delayed because even though only the first visualization is displayed on the tile, the system loads all the visualizations in that dashboard. When you set a dashboard for full view, it displays all the visualizations in it. You can access the full dashboard by selecting the tile or related information. When you configure a dashboard as related information of a fluid component, the dashboard appears in the right panel of the component. However, access to the component and dashboard data are controlled by the security privileges assigned to a user. You can map dashboards as related information only to fluid components. The guidelines surrounding full view and tile view are applicable to related information dashboards too. Use an application class containing people code to filter data based on context and display visualization data accordingly. Ensure that you set the filters on the fields that are part of the visualization. Try out the component by selecting the Test Content button. In step 4, you use the Insights Privileges page to specify user privileges for a dashboard and to create a visualization. PeopleSoft provides the required security by mapping the dashboards to PeopleSoft roles. We discussed the user privileges topic previously in this video. In the following demonstration, we will create a visualization and a dashboard and go through the process of importing the dashboard, setting the dashboard as a tile or related content, and specifying user privileges. The first step is to create a visualization, which is then added to a dashboard. We'll use the search bar to search for the menu that we require. Insights under Reporting Tools. The Manage page enables you to view index patterns, saved objects, and advanced settings. The Create Index Pattern page displays the application data indexes that are indexed in the search engine. The indexes are suffixed with a database name. When you add a wildcard character as a suffix, it generalizes the index pattern, thus avoiding a dependency on the database. If the search definition name that you entered matches the indexed search definition, a success message is displayed. If you select a time filter field name, OpenSearch dashboards will use the field to filter the data by time. Use the Show Advanced Settings link to specify a custom name for the index pattern instead of the system-generated name. On creating an index pattern, OpenSearch Dashboards displays the mapping of all the fields in the index pattern. Select a date range to filter the documents. You can view the data for the selected date range. The page lists existing visualizations, if any. You can hover over each type to read a description of the visualization type. For the first visualization, we will use the pie type. We'll use the index pattern that we initially created as the source for this visualization. In this visualization, we'll depict jobs by country and location. You can view the pie chart. You can make changes as required, that is, select a new field and so on. The update action renders the visualization as per the options and values you selected. We'll name the new visualization as Jobs by Location. You may add a description for the visualization. In OpenSearch dashboards, region map visualizations are powered by the OpenSearch Map service. In addition to the default vector options that are available, you can create region maps using custom vector maps. In this demonstration, we'll create a region map that shows the applicants by state. For this visualization, we'll use the region map and make changes as required, such as select a new field, join field, and so on. The colored regions show the number of applicants from that state. After creating a visualization, you should create a container to hold the visualization. A dashboard is a container that holds one or more visualizations. You may add the visualization to an existing dashboard or create a new dashboard. You can add one or more visualizations to a dashboard. We'll create a new dashboard called Jobs, Country and Location. The dashboard name should be unique. You may add a description for the dashboard. When you save a dashboard, you can save the time range along with the dashboard so that the dashboard displays data as per the time range. The new dashboard is listed on the dashboard page. Now, we'll create another visualization that shows the jobs by company. For this visualization, we'll use the vertical bar chart. The y-axis displays the job count and the x-axis displays the company. For the purpose of this demo, we have already created another dashboard titled Job Information. This step completes the tasks on OpenSearch dashboards. Now we'll log on to PIA for the subsequent steps. The visualizations and dashboards that are created are stored in OpenSearch dashboards. The second step in the process is to import these visualizations and dashboards from OpenSearch dashboards to the PeopleSoft database. We'll select the jobs by country and location, jobs by company, and job information dashboards and import them. The third step is to set the dashboards either as a tile, which can be added to a homepage, or as related information on a component. We'll configure the jobs by company dashboard as a tile. Next, we'll configure the jobs by country and location dashboard as related information on the Open Jobs component. Before you save, you may test the related information by selecting the Test Content button. The fourth step is to specify user privileges for the dashboards. We'll set the edit privilege for the jobs by country and location dashboard. And then we'll set the view privilege for jobs by company and job information dashboards. When you save the user privileges, Search Framework sets the security for the content reference on the content and structure page. The tasks of an administrator are now completed. The dashboards are ready for use. Now, to use the dashboards, we will log in as a regular user. We'll add the dashboard that is set as tile to the recruiting homepage. You will be familiar with this step because in the previous demonstration, we had personalized the tile. You may have to wait for a few seconds for the tile to load the visualization. Now, we'll see the dashboard that we added as related information in the Open Jobs component. Because the edit privilege is set for the user, you can see the Open in OpenSearch Dashboards link at the top left corner. This link opens the dashboard in OpenSearch Dashboards, enabling you to edit it. This is the end of the demonstration. Before we complete this session, let's take a look at the various sources of additional information. You can download the companion slides with images and notes from this video from the Oracle Learning Library. The PeopleSoft Search and Insights homepage includes installation documentation and implementation documentation for PeopleSoft Search Framework, including OpenSearch. Contains links to troubleshooting and support documentation to assist with the installation and implementation. On the PeopleSoft information portal, PeopleSoftInfo.com, you can find OpenSearch Spotlight Series videos, PeopleSoft Insights concept page, and Analytics concept page that contain information about how to use OpenSearch dashboards in PeopleSoft. And refer to the PeopleTools search technology documentation from Oracle Help Center.